Welcome back to yet another edition of Books and Reading. Today we'll be doing a book review of Live Green by Jen Chillingsworth. This book is a collection of the changes we have made in our home and lifestyle, and I hope you'll find them helpful, says Jen Chillingsworth. Green home and garden. Our home should not only provide us with shelter but also bring us joy. No matter how big or small it is, our home offers us a place of retreat after a stressful day. We spend many hours in our homes, so it's important to take a more considered approach to what we bring into them. From the paint on the wall and the bed linen we sleep in to the energy we consume, it all has an impact on our well-being and the wider environment, says Jen Chillingsworth. Decluttering. We all have too much stuff that we don't need, we don't like, or we don't use anymore. Decluttering our homes helps us in so many ways, creating a calmer environment, less searching for misplaced items, and a reduction in the amount of cleaning and dusting, says Jen Chillingsworth. Set aside 30 minutes, says Jen Chillingsworth. Take one room, cover a drawer, and during that time, get rid of the things you no longer use or want to keep. Divide these into groups. One pile of rubbish to be discarded, one pile to be donated to charity, friends or family, and if you want to sell some items, then a pile for those too. A good question to ask yourself as you go through your belongings is, when was the last time I used this? If it's more than a year ago, then let it go. If it's more than a year ago, then let it go, says Jen Chillingsworth. When it comes to energy in the home, small changes can add up to big results for the environment and for our finances. The larger the television, the more electricity it uses. So choosing a smaller screen will save you money and energy. Also, don't forget to turn it off when you leave the room. And don't leave it on standby as it's still drawing power, says Jen Chillingsworth. Plant a tree or hedge, says Jen Chillingsworth. The World Health Organization states that air pollution claims 7 million lives a year. One of the simplest ways to improve air quality in your own neighborhood is plant a tree or a hedge. Both have been proven to significantly reduce air pollution, says Jen Chillingsworth. Single trees in urban areas have been found to be far more beneficial at collecting harmful particles than those in a woodland area, says Jen Chillingsworth. A few years ago, I found myself in the hospital emergency department after suffering an extreme allergic reaction to a cleaning product. I'd been scrubbing tiles in my bathroom with a bleach-based solution, and although I'd ventilated the room well, it had still managed to overwhelm my system. My face, arms and hands had swollen to twice their normal size, and my skin was itchy and covered in a rash, says Jen Chillingsworth. I felt awful and I vowed not to let it happen again. This experience made me look more closely at cleaning products and the harm they can do to our well-being and to the environment. I started making some simple changes, switching to environmentally friendly versions of multi-surface sprays and washing powders, avoiding anything that contains bleach. I repeat, avoiding anything that contains bleach, says Jen Chillingsworth. Shop local for fresh ingredients, says Jen Chillingsworth. Look for local growers selling direct from farm shops or at farmers markets. Search online for farmers markets near me. I also like to include a visit to a farmers market when I go on holiday, as there is nothing better than sampling the fresh produce grown in the region you are staying in, says Jen Chillingsworth. Why shop local? Because it's better for the environment. Buying fresh food from a local grower or farmer helps to reduce your carbon footprint substantially, as there is no need for any transportation, food miles or refrigeration, says Jen Chillingsworth. Moreover, shopping local helps the local economy. Businesses stay open, grow, employ local people and pass on traditional skills. Local businesses use the services of other local trades for printing, accounts, design and maintenance, which helps to strengthen the entire community, says Jen Chillingsworth. Shopping local also benefits the local wildlife, says Jen Chillingsworth. Fields, ponds, meadows, and woodland encourage biodiversity and provide shelter for many species. Nature loses these precious commodities if farms are lost to property development, says Jen Chillingsworth. Getting rid of sentimental items. Items like wedding dresses or clothing you may have an attachment to can be difficult to let go. My wedding dress was 2 sizes smaller than the clothes I currently wear, and I knew I'd never wear it again, yet I was still reluctant to part with it. I eventually realized that by choosing to donate it, someone else could benefit from its beauty rather than it lurking in the back of my closet forever, says Jen Chillingsworth. Dealing with moths. Moths thrive in dark, warm conditions, and if spring is unseasonably hot, they'll be prolific breeders, says Jen Chillingsworth. If your summer clothes have been in the closet throughout winter, you may find them full of holes when you bring them out in warm weather. Textile moths live for around 65 days, during which they lay over 50 eggs. Rather than treat the problem with mothballs, which are essentially toxic chemicals, use natural remedies to get rid of them, says Jen Chillingsworth. On gift wrapping. Every year I used to get a little downhearted at how much rubbish we created from gift giving. From the wrapping paper packaged in plastic, gift tags and sticky tape, to the single-use plastic-coated gift bags. It all ultimately ended up in landfill, says Jen Chillingsworth. But now I wrap gifts with fabric using the Japanese technique furoseki. It's reusable, creates no waste, and it's also far more pleasant spending an afternoon folding and tying than dealing with scissors, paper and tape. I like to use pieces of cotton and linen fabric as the cloth is strong enough to support a little weight, and as it's opaque, no one can see what's inside the parcel, says Jen Chillingsworth. And well, these are achievable, useful and practical ideas, and I truly believe that small steps lead to big changes, and we are all in this together to help look after our beautiful planet. I repeat, and we are all in this together to help look after our beautiful planet. Live simply, live green, concludes Jen Chillingsworth. Well, that's all for now, and until we meet again on yet another interesting and engaging book review, this is Rufus signing off for now. Have a great day, and here's wishing you a happy Earth Day as well.